And we are off. During the intro, I'd like to explain, from what I can tell with their splits, there's going to be a routing difference in Womp's Fortress. My apologies, I'm going to cough. Sorry. FasterSuperSonic's going to be doing Womp's Fortress 9, in which he gets a slide star before entering Womp's Fortress, and kitcarsonn is going to be doing Womp's Fortress 8, where he does both slide stars after Womp's Fortress.
And that route difference is probably like, what, a second or two?
Yeah, it's not much. It's probably around a second and a half. Okay, we're moving on to the first trick of this game, in which both runners are going to try to long jump on the very left edge of the bridge in order to skip a loading zone with Lakitu, so they can skip the text box. And it looks like both runners got that, saving about 7 seconds. Both runners about to perform what's called bomb clip, or clippy, some like to call it, in which they're going to throw and catch the bomb as it's exploding to give themselves backward momentum to push them through the cage.
Backwards momentum is a big thing in a lot of different skips and categories within this game. The basis for a lot of the BLJs, for instance.
Yeah, absolutely. The devs didn't think anyone was going to abuse the backwards long jumps or anything like that, so they didn't put a real backwards momentum cap on this game. So it allows you to clip through different places that you shouldn't be able to do otherwise. And as Rogues mentioned in chat, I would like to state again that there is a route difference here where FasterSuperSonic is going to be going for the one slide star before going for Womp's Fortress, which is ultimately about a second and a half faster.
Looks like kitcarsonn failed what's called cannon list, where we, instead of shooting the cannon into the wall to break and then spawn the star, the hitbox of the star, you can actually clip into that and grab it. So looks like we see if we can get a second try.
kitcarsonn, unfortunately, is he held down too long and ended up falling off the ledge grab. Something that happens a lot if you're running on keyboard, which I'm assuming none of these runners are. I'm pretty sure they're both on N64, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's definitely happened to me a lot because I run on keyboard sometimes, so definitely can be a challenge for that split trick.
I've been informed that the left is on EMU, so that's it's going to be interesting. EMU is just a little bit faster, really a lot bit faster because of less lag in DDD and other stages such as that. FasterSuperSonic now doing the red coins plus 100 coin star in the stage. He doesn't end up missing his cycle that he was going for because the rotating platform is on a cycle, and if you miss it, it's about 6-7 seconds each time. Both runners within a few seconds of each other, actually. This is a pretty interesting race. I would like to note that kitcarsonn did opt to not go for the first slide star. So FasterSuperSonic is, I don't know, 40 seconds ahead, maybe a little bit less than that. That's a lie. It's like 30 seconds. I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, I would like to note for people that don't run this game or people who've never seen this game before, when collecting 100 coin star in a level, you are able to stay in a level and collect another star. That's why 100 coin stars are pretty much always bump red coins or something of the sort. So, which that allows this game to be very, very optimized. This is one of the most optimized speed games that exist.
There is actually, I know there's it's either a ROM hack or a Game Shark code that allows you to stay in the level after collecting stars called Nonstop. A lot of people have a lot of fun running those categories.
Absolutely, and kitcarsonn did miss out. This is his first time, but was able to get it on a second try. Basically, you're going to have a pretty precise angle with a wall kick within a set of 2 frames to be able to get enough height to clip it through the top of the fence into the cage, allowing you to skip the owl, which saves about 6-7 seconds. To answer your question, Drew, yes. In Wet Dry World, which is upstairs, you'll see it in 43 stars in was when it stops. You don't get red coins, as well as in Coco Mountain, you don't get red coins as well.
And also in TTC if they decide to do it. But if you don't do that with reds.
Oh yeah, TTC, another good example. I'm assuming because of the skill level, they're both going to be going for Tic-Tac Clock 100s. FasterSuperSonic opting to go for the owl, which is interesting. Definitely safer for a race, but I would assume someone at his skill level would be doing owlless. But it is a race, so it could be the safer call.
Definitely seen races where safer strats have won people races versus lost people that going for harder strats and failing them. A lot of strategy is going into 70 star. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to note that I don't believe you guys can see the splits. I think you only have timers. FasterSuperSonic is about 7.4 seconds ahead of his PB, while kitcarsonn is 28.6 seconds behind his PB, and that's because of the routing difference. And kitcarsonn had a few blunders during the Launch Fortress. Now they do the slide star twice because you get 1 star for completing the slide in under 21 seconds. You also get another star for completing this completing the slide at any time standard.
Yeah, if you do the slide normally, you probably, without using the skip, you probably can get about 20 or 19 seconds at best. So this skips a lot, about 5 to 7 seconds, depending on what time you get.
FasterSuperSonic just did a thing that the commentators now calling Yump, which I thought is pretty funny. So that's what I'm going to call it. Where he's going to jump, he jumps off the text box and grabs the star before landing the ground. Jumps off the wing cap switch, grabs the star before touching the ground, skipping a text box.
Yeah, this is the only switch that we use in 70 star, at least in the general to go outside runners decide to use.
FasterSuperSonic unfortunately had too many errors and is not going to be able to make Shiguru cycle. He should be fine for normal cycle though, and that he is. Unfortunate death in Dark World from kitcarsonn. It's going to be a little bit harder to catch up from that, especially because the skill gap between these two players are 2 seconds. Another
Now,
unfortunate death from
FasterSuperSonic is
Kit Carson.
Dark World definitely is one of the harder stages to nail down and get really good at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna I'm gonna say that nerves is playing a pretty big factor on this as well, because either I'm assuming he has the stream open to see it and can see how close they are. So yeah, nerves playing a huge factor. Both times he just kind of walked off the edge, which isn't more of an input situation, just not paying attention or trying to go too fast.
I mean, this definitely is a nerve-wracking match, as whoever wins this match moves on from the group stage.
Yeah, and a third death from Kit Carson in Dark World is going to be very discouraging, but he's going to have to push through if he wants a chance at moving on to the next stage of this tournament.
FasterSuperSonic looks like he just failed a sky jump, so I mean that's some kind of thing that Kit Carson's going to have if he wants any shot at moving on.
Yeah, I would like to point out that FasterSuperSonic did gold Dark World, which was means that was the best Dark World he's ever had, or at least on these splits. So I thought that was pretty cool and needed to mention that. Kit Carson pausing to check the cycle. Very good idea, especially because the cycle was a little bit off, but he was still able to make it.
Another routing thing to notice is that FasterSuperSonic is choosing to do CCM 18 versus Kit Carson is doing CCM 17.
In CCM 18, you're going to bundle the 100 coin star with the big penguin race. And CCM 17, you're going to bundle the 100 coin star with the first slide star, which is just slightly faster. They're going to be getting another star later in THI, I believe, the Tiny Huge Island Reds.
Yeah, it looks according to Kit Carson's splits that he has 4 stars in THI.
Although Kit Carson is about 2 minutes ahead and all, his best possible time is only 40 seconds slower than FasterSuperSonics, which means his sum of best is slightly better, and he does have the potential to go even faster, so he could catch up on this just purely on no mistakes and doing well. Looks like you said my oh my in the chat. Definitely what words I would use to describe the Dark World. Unfortunate, but life goes on, and he's going to have to push through if he wants a chance at the next stage of this tournament.
Yeah, definitely looks like so far he's been able to do it as he pulled off the second part of BOB pretty well. So let's see if we can calm down and make good solid inputs.
I'm not sure if Kit Carson has missed a star or is going back to get that one later, but he is going to go ahead and go for the 100 coins plus slide star.
Yeah, I don't think he's done Penguin yet.
FasterSuperSonic now going for Digby's Honcho, in which he will get 2 relatively easy stars. This first star he's going to be getting is really hard for casual players because they don't know how to get to the top where the star spawns. So I always find it interesting to watch how speedrunners do it. There could be a routing difference here where he opts to kill the boo on the way up there, or he can kill the boo on the ledge. So let's see what happens there. And yes, you were right. kitcarsonn did opt to go back for the ping 1 star.
Looks like he had a pretty solid CCM, split.
Yeah, FasterSuperSonic is well on track to PB here, while kitcarsonn has some catching up to do. PB is still possible, but he can only lose about a minute and a half, a minute 40 seconds throughout the run to his best splits ever. So it's going to be really hard. But FasterSuperSonic could easily mess up, and the gap could shorten between these two. It's really anyone's race at this point still.
There's also the possibility of kitcarsonn getting some gold splits or god splits along the way too, which will, make that gap even smaller too.
Yeah, absolutely. Both runners opting for the faster version to do the star. kitcarsonn had an interesting camera angle I haven't seen before, but it looks like it's going to work out, so no harm, no foul. FasterSuperSonic. Sorry, go ahead.
It sounded like we were saying the exact same thing. Oh, but oh no, he missed MIPS right there, and that's gonna cost him some time.
I find it interesting that instead of going to catch MIPS for a second try, he did just enter SSL. I guess that is safer. I don't know if it saves time or not.
And because of that, we won't know if he's ahead or behind on PV because we decided to just skip the splits until DDD.
I don't know what just happened in FasterSuperSonic's screen, but he first of all, he's not going for pillarless, but he dove into a bomb, picked up the bomb, and then dive rollout, and did a dive rollout and drop the bomb and continued going. Could someone clip that, because that was pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that. kitcarsonn did end up missing pillarless on his first try, therefore he's going to go for this backup strat. He can miss it again and then still have another backup strat, but the next time he misses it, he's just going to have to either try again or go for the pillar version of the star. FasterSuperSonic still hasn't grabbed MIB, so I hope he didn't forget that. He might have to go back to it later if he did.
I wonder if he's planning on grabbing it on the way to the Dire Docks.
Possible. Now, kitcarsonn did pull off pillarless, which is an insane trick that I'll try to explain, just not very in detail. Basically, what you're going to do is the same thing you did in Bomb on the Battlefield, where you're going to catch the bomb as an exploding, giving you backwards momentum. You're also going to position yourself just right using complex inputs to be able to activate an item in hand glitch, in which allows you to double jump, ground pound, and things like that while having the bomb, which is going to allow you to get up to where you need to be and clip through the pyramid. FasterSuperSonic nailing Lava Boost, deceivingly hard. It looks really easy, but unfortunately it's really not. It's pretty hard. So many things that can go wrong. You could be behind on an input or, burn yourself to death. That's always unfortunate. FasterSuperSonic unfortunately missing his roller there is going to cost him a little bit of time, but he should be able to kill the bully no problem. Decently hard for casual runners, especially the staircase, because if you don't do your inputs fast enough, you'll fall down and ultimately die.
I've actually seen a few runners actually do the lava boost up there to grab the star instead of deciding just to forego those staircases.
Yeah, definitely a good idea if you're pretty bad at moving, like me.
Kappa. Based on best possible time, it looks like the runners are about a minute apart.
Some differences in star order for this stage. I honestly can't tell you if it's faster or not. I'm assuming it's just personal preference. kitcarsonn going for the first of two lava stars in this stage. He's going to end up trying to go for lava boost. Let's see if he gets it here. Really nice lava boost from kitcarsonn.
Both runners doing a really nice job on that strat. Lava boost is interesting because one of the very few strats that is 70 star only, in the sense that we do not do that in 120 star.
And the reason being because you want to collect the coins on the way up there for 100 coin. I believe. I don't run 120 star, nor do I run 70 star, so I'm not really fit to do this, but hey, I'm doing okay, I think.
Do you run 16?
Yes, I do run 16 star.
I ran 70 and 120 and 16 just very, very badly.
Yeah, I feel you there. And thank you for King Jeff confirming the coin count for LOL on 120.
Yeah, it looks like kitcarsonn's going for some harder strats in HMC. You went for the triple jump off of the box, which is a more advanced strat, and instead of deciding to use the elevator.
Yeah, and just by watching that strat, it looks easier than it is because there are a lot of interesting wall kick save from Kit Carson. Sorry, off topic. Back to what I was saying. There are a lot of places where you'll, if you hit a certain area, you'll just die. I'm not sure why it just happens. In HMC, they actually didn't put ceilings, so you can jump above the ceilings, which is what the box jump does. You'll probably see one of the runners attempt Christmas Miracle, which is also abusing the ceiling, or lack thereof, rather. FasterSuperSonic did attempt Christmas Miracle and unfortunately missed it, but did back it up with the side flip. It's called Christmas Miracle because when it was discovered, people didn't actually know how it worked and said it was a Christmas miracle if you got it.
I've actually heard certain people say that it was discovered on Christmas. I don't know if that's actually true or not, though.
I can't say I've heard that, but it could absolutely be true. I'll look around after this commentary and find out. Not that you guys can see it, but Kit Carson did forget the split on LOL, which I thought was interesting. You saw FasterSuperSonic do an alternative way of getting down there without using box jump or Christmas Miracle, which is elevator clip, which you just wait for the elevator to come down and it'll push you through the wall, allowing you to also get to that area. I repeated that, but it's okay.
Definitely a lot of strats that different skill runners different skill levels use, you know. As we can kind of see from this tournament, there's been runners that have that are like world record kind of close, and there's been runners that have like a 120.
Yeah. I'd also like to point out the fact that Mips just used his portal gun twice now to teleport through Mario, which is pretty interesting. Mips not doing very good, doing very well in FasterSuperSonic. Yeah, this is great. I'm sorry.
This is one of the longer Mips that I've ever seen.
Yeah, fortunately he does end up grabbing it. That'll cost him some time.
Just what Kit Carson needed to get back in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to point out that Kit Carson's DD time in his PB is 27:56, while in while in FasterSuperSonic's PB it's a 30:38. So there is a bit of a gap. So Kit Carson is a lot better apparently at early game. So hopefully he can end up beating his PB times late game and get back into this race.
FasterSuperSonic does have 2 extra stars, so that probably adds at least a minute, you know. Of the 2 minutes that are different, it's probably at least a minute of it, if not more.
Oh yeah, I must have missed one of the stars. What else did he do?
He decided to skip Toxic Maze and HMC.
Okay. So then I'm assuming that FasterSuperSonic will not be doing TTC 100?
Probably not, but you never know. I've seen various different routes in this tournament, you know, so you just never know what one runners are going to use.
Yeah, this tournament has shown a lot of people new routing. I've seen a lot of things I've never seen before in the 4 races prior to this that I've commentated. Really helps a lot of people in the Super Mario 64 community get exposure and new strats to be learned as well. Kit Carson now going for one of the most trolly stars in this game that he does fortunately get the first try, because if you miss the first ring, it's okay on that Manatee, but if you miss it the second time or miss the second ring, the ring patterns hitboxers are so bad and such a weird pattern that it's really hard to get back onto.
Yeah, definitely. There was a time when I was trying to figure out and learning on keyboard, and I actually skipped that star before I actually learned how to do it properly. because of how trolly it can be. One thing I hope to see from this tournament is that hopefully a lot of new people decide to run this game, and then the Mario series in general. You know, there's a lot of good speed games in it. So, I mean, if you're interested in speedrunning it, there's a lot of Discord servers for various games. You know, people are usually very willing to help out newer runners and, you know, strats and different things.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure viewers have noticed that on Speed Gaming channel or the various Speed Gaming channels, they're also doing Super Mario Odyssey races. Another really good speed game. It's actually decently easy to pick up if you don't want to start with Super Mario 64. The route is changing very often, so it's not going to be hard to go in and get a decent time. Upon further inspection, it looks like FasterSuperSonic did lose about 25 seconds to Mips. Very unfortunate, but still ahead of his PB at this time, so could very well PB in this race.
One thing that's interesting about Super Mario 64 and what I've seen of Odyssey is that it's very easy to pick up, but very hard to get great at it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As with pretty much any game, like Super Mario 64 is especially hard because people have been running this game for how long it's been out? 21 years. Like, it's super optimized, and you have to be very, very consistent to be able to get all these tricks, especially in 120 star, which is about an hour 40-minute run if you're really, really good.
Big time save for kitcarsonn in Fire Sea. Looks like run to his PB. I think he must have died there because he had almost 50 seconds to save.
Yeah, absolutely. He's saved a tremendous amount of time since SSL, almost a full minute. So if he would have had a decent start of the run, he could be very well on PB pace by a decent amount of time. And
Looks
yes,
like FasterSuperSonic missed his Bowser throw, and in Fire Sea, it's one of the most detrimental as far as time loss because he does the ground pound onto the platform, it causes the tilt, and if you're not careful, you slide.
yeah, Fire Sea in general is just a really scary stage because of all the lava that's everywhere, as well as the throws at the end of the thing. In Fire Sea, Bowser actually does spin the fastest, both without throwing him and when you're actually going for the throw. So it can make that throw a little bit more tricky, or a little bit trickier to hit. Fortunately, it's only one throw. If it was 3 throws, Fire Sea would be so much more detrimental.
kitcarsonn's now doing Wet Jar Award 100s, which has some of the worst possible coin RNG that you can have within the 70-star run.
Yeah, and I think the route he's doing, he can miss a total of 1 coin, and I'm pretty sure he's already missed his allotted coin. Yeah, he has. So he should be pretty fine. Unless he does that. Yeah, we've had a bunch of runners mess up that jump there. He is going to go for a triple jump wall kick method. There's another method where you just use the teleporter and jump down in there, but it looks like he will get it and be moving on to the next star.
I've seen some very interesting backups for that.
Yeah, it definitely can vary, and FasterSuperSonic did not miss coin earlier on, so when he got that awful coin RNG, probably one of the worst you can get on the top of that crate thing is what I'm going to call it, he was able to not have to go for an extra coin upon missing that one.
RNG stands for random number generators, basically just anything that's out of the runner's control.
Yeah, good job explaining that. I wouldn't have thought they'd be able to do that. Kit Carson does end up missing the wall kicks, and for a second time, and I guess he'll just ride the elevator up. Fortunately, he did land back on the elevator, so he didn't have to redo the star. Kit Carson, FasterSuperSonic having some issues with that triple jump does get it eventually. The faster way to do it would be to kick off of the wall and triple jump like that, which he did attempt the first time and went for the backup.
With this elevator star, it's interesting to see some runners decide to break the box earlier or decide to ground pound and break it on the way down.
Another thing I should mention about this stage is depending on where you enter the painting, directly affects where the water level is. So if you enter the painting at the lowest point, you're going to start off the level with the water so low that you can run through it. If you enter at the highest point, the water level is going to be extremely high. So the runners are going to use that to their advantage to be able to get to spots much easier, like you saw FasterSuperSonic do.
One thing I thought was interesting as far as this game is when the developers were making the game, how they had thought of all these dynamic entrants, this is the wet draw world, the THI, and TikTok clock with what time you go enter it, different things like that, with how early this is of a game,
Yeah, definitely really innovative. This entire game, so many things that were never there before that now we know is the basis of games, such as just the plain fact it was 3D. First 3D Mario game was pretty revolutionary at the time. You do see Kit Carson now going for one of the star that he's going to do in place of the extra star in CCM. A lot of runners opt to not do that because they find it difficult, but he made it look pretty easy there, so it was pretty good for him.
Basically, in any kind of sport, you can tell a good player by their ability to make hard things look easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I make easy things look hard, so don't watch my stream.
Same.
FasterSuperSonic doing one of my favorite stars in this game because it's so aesthetically pleasing. You have these 5 evil piranha plant things that are twice as big as you with gigantic heads, and you just kind of slide into them and get a star for it. Should mention that Tiny Huge Island is another dynamic stage. Depending on which painting you enter, you're either in the huge island mode like Kit Carson is now, or the tiny island mode like FasterSuperSonic is in now. You can also change between the two modes by entering the pipe, as you're seeing Supersonic do now.
When I was younger, I could never find the piranha star.
When I was younger, I didn't know Snowman's Land exists, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, in fact, this game was so popular, they made a remake of it for the Nintendo DS.
Yeah, and to be honest, it wasn't terrible. A lot of Super Mario 64 players didn't like it because it looked different and some of the mechanics were a little bit different, but they did add a bunch of new stars, which made gameplay a little more dynamic. Kit Carson did gold Tiny Huge Island. With a full minute possible time save in Tall Tall Mountain.
That's a lot of time save for a level in this game.
Especially at the skill level.
Yeah, if you're like me, that's nothing.
I did a 16-star run today and got a 29, so don't bash yourself too much. So you can see one of the advantages of Faster Supersonic playing on the emulator. Normally that's start he did is so laggy, it's insane. Emulator fixes that for you.
Carson failing the mountain clip. So I'm guessing he's gonna go for reds right now.
I'm not sure if Faster Supersonic was trying to go for it and missed it, or just went for the ledge grab in the first place, but you can wall kick off of that place in order to get to the waterfall star a little bit faster. You can see Kit Carson taking advantage of the camera angle to reduce lag in this area, which Faster Supersonic didn't have to do because of the emulator he's using. And yes, this is an extremely close race, especially with Kit Carson's like pretty awful Dark World. He's managed to come back a lot.
One thing that I always liked about THI Reds is just you basically just jump off and fall into the star.
To answer your question, yes. Question in chat. Project 64 1.6 is the only version allowed. I've been notified that 1.7 is also allowed. Did not know that. I'm not quite sure why. I just know it's a regulation put in place, and people try to fight it, but it's not going to change.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with SRL, that is Speedruns Live. Basically, is a website that runners use as a tool to do races and compare times and see who wins.
Yeah, in fact, the runners are using that service now. Kit Carson opting for the faster box jump strat, and he does indeed get it. There is a slower strat that is more consistent and easier to do. Fortunately, he pulled it off well, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Kit Carson must not be very good at this stage, or not very. Sorry, let me rephrase. He must not be very consistent at this stage. He's a very good runner, but he did end up going over his 1 minute possible time save, meaning he's lost over a minute to his best level there.
Yeah, his best time must be very, very good for that.
Snowman's Land is a pretty easy level to get the stars and do okay at it, but there's so many little small details to optimize it that are very difficult. A very technical stage.
Yeah, other than Snowman's Head, it's not that difficult. It's a lot of triple jumps, though, which can cause people to trip up.
Now, you just saw both runners do the same star, but very different strategies based around the same area of movement. Kit Carson's was a little bit faster. Well, while I find that Faster Supersonics was more aesthetically pleasing, but that's just my personal opinion. I'd like to point out that unless Kit Carson golds like a lot of splits by a lot of time, there's no possible way he's going to PB. While FasterSuperSonic just has to play really well the rest of the game. His late game is very, very good. I like to make fun of the stage a lot because of the star that Kit Carson is doing now and the star that that FasterSuperSonic did prior. The Ice Bully star is just a joke because you dive into it and it dies. The maze star that you saw Kit Carson do, you can just enter through the top. So, two very easy ways to get 2 stars, which should be more difficult than they are. FasterSuperSonic now entering Rainbow Ride, or Rainbow Cried, as Jack likes to call it, because it is a very difficult stage with small mistakes costing you a life and having to restart the star that you're doing.
A lot of runners decide to call it Reset Ride of how difficult it is to pull off.
Yeah, I've seen many runs that were where the runners could PB by a minute or more died a Rainbow Ride. The stage and then the next stage are the 2 stages that could easily let Kit Carson catch up, assuming if FasterSuperSonic doesn't do well. FasterSuperSonic missing the initial jump he was going for, but does back it up with a triple jump, which is pretty good.
Both runners getting cruiser. Just the hardest strat in Rainbow Ride to do.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of runners recently, especially in these speed gaming races, where they did a star extra in, say, Toxic Maze and HMC. Or I've even seen one person enter Jolly Roger Bay to avoid getting that star.
What star did they do in Jolly Roger Bay?
I believe they did ship clip and got the star inside that. I wouldn't quote me on that though. We'll have to look at the past broadcast because I wasn't actually commentating that race.
Yeah, that seems any of the stars that you could get right away in JRB seem very, very slow.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that you don't enter JRB at all in 70-star run. So when the developers made this game, I don't know what was going through their head with Rainbow Ride, but they're like, hey, let's make the hardest stage possible, aside from TikTok Clock, and make the red coins one of the easiest stars. They did the same thing in TikTok Clock. The red coins are all together, but the rest of the stage is very, very dangerous.
Kit Carson making those tricky triangles look less tricky.
Yes, but trust us on this one, they are tricky.
Another thing that I failed to mention, but it looks like that both runners are using the English version, which is the fastest version for 70-star.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you caught that because I was not paying attention. I was eating my dinner at the beginning of this.
Dinner commentating strats.
Yes, agreed. Unfortunate death from Kit Carson. Ends up missing his input on the second wall jump in that series of wall jumps, thus making him fall down the level. I'd still like to point out that this could easily be anybody's game. FasterSuperSonic could fall down TikTok clock twice and miss a Bowser throw or two, and then Kit Carson catch up relatively easily, assuming he doesn't make any more mistakes.
Yeah, we'll see how FasterSuperSonic can deal with the nerves. It looks like he even turned his splits off to deal with that. I wonder if Kit Carson is going to go for moving TTC and try to come back and save those precious seconds.
My apologies, I've returned. My alarm went off, like my security system, so I thought someone broke into my house. Fortunately, we're okay.
Kit Carson this is just not his day. It's not his
yeah, really, really unfortunate.
This would be really interesting. These two runners there is like if it was like a best of like 5 between the two because of how close they are. It'd be interesting to see who would win something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That it looks like because of that bonk, FasterSuperSonic is not going to be able to PB. Okay, my security system's still going off. Give me a moment.
Okay. Yeah, and that looks like FasterSuperSonic is now moving on to the final stage of the game, Bowser in the Sky. As the endless stairs in this game allows you to enter the stage when you collect so many stars, unless you decide to do a skip, which is banned in this category.
Okay, fortunately, no one has broken into my house. It looks like both runners have had a few blunders here at the end of the run. I'm assuming nerves. I'm pretty sure it's not possible for FasterSuperSonic PB, but still going to be an amazing race time, assuming he finishes the rest of Sky solidly and doesn't miss like 8 Bowser throws like I would.
FasterSuperSonic entering his Bowser throws right now, so I mean, unless he misses a lot of throws, it looks like he'll win this race.
Yeah, but I've seen people miss tons and tons of throws in a row due to nerves, so I guess it's theoretically still possible, but just not very likely. And it looks like he did end up getting his last throw really, really, really close. He's going to miss PB by just a few seconds.
Maybe like 5 seconds. So, I mean, yeah. Very, very good run, though. Yeah, it looks like he missed his PB by 10 seconds, so but still very, very good time, very consistent for a faster supersonic.
Yeah, absolutely. He did end up golding bits. So let's see if we can get him in for an interview while Kit Carson finishes up his run. Does look like Faster Supersonic will be joining us for an interview.
Some funny things in the Discord for this tournament.
Does look like Kit Carson did get all of his throws. Really unfortunate run. If he would have had a good Dark World and not died and tipped that clock as much as he did, he could have PB'd by a minute and a half.
Yeah, Dark World, TTM, and TTC.
He did also
Looks
end up
like-
golding bits.
Yeah, both runners end up having a very solid Bowser in the Sky, which is very impressive.
Okay, we'll wait for FFS to join the Discord for an interview, and then we'll go ahead and sign off because I want to sleep.
For now.
The power of the stars.
For now. Interesting.
And it's all thanks
With the possible spoiler alert. Oh, it looks like Faster Supersonic is now here. Hello?
Hi.
How are you doing? Congrats
Good.
on your win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say that was an amazing run, especially in a tournament setting so close to your PB.
Yeah.
How what were one of the ways that you handled the nerves in that situation? Because I'm sure that was a big factor in some of the mistakes that you.
Yeah. The nerves started kicking in around TTM.
Yeah, and understandably too. I mean, you had a really good run throughout. Some minor mistakes. MIPS. That was one of the more interesting MIPS I've seen. That must have discouraged you a little bit, but you did end up pulling through, winning the race, and really close to your PB too. Again, a marvelous run. A really good run from both runners. Kit Carson would have PB'd like really well if it weren't for Dark World, TTM, and TTC.
And hello, Kit Carson.
Hello.
Do either of you have anything you want to say about your runs and how you dealt with the nerves or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I was actually going to say specifically about the nerves is after I died 3 times in Dark World, I was like, okay, well, that's it. I don't care anymore. So, and then after that, all the pressure was off almost, even though like afterwards I checked and I wasn't like too far behind at some points. So, you know, the pressure did come back a little bit, but after those 3 deaths, I kind of just like, I wasn't nervous anymore at all.
Yeah, that's very understandable. I mean, getting discouraged in this game is really, really easy, especially when you're really good at an area and end up messing it up 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, Dark World is probably the level I've practiced the most out of any level, maybe besides TTC, which also went horribly, and I'm very disappointed in my TTC, but, you know, it happens, I guess.
What I kind of noticed, I think the difference in this race, basically came down to consistency as, from according to your splits, it looked like you, Kit Carson, had a better sum of best. But it's clear that FasterSuperSonic was more consistent in the strats that he did, so which ended up giving him the win for the race and allowed him to move on.
Yeah, and both of you actually golded bits. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I golded Sky by quite a bit, actually. My sum of best was 51.10 before this race, and now it's 50.39, and I'm pretty sure most of that was Sky. So that was a really good Sky for me, at least because I've actually never gotten moving left side in a run, ever. Not even like regular left side, actually. That was a first for me. It was really exciting.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, moving to GWK is something that I've personally practiced a lot, even though my times are trash. I just thought it's a really good thing. And yeah, getting it consistently or getting it at all can be really, really hard. So congratulations to you for getting that and the amazing run that both of you put up.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the only reason I went for it was because, you know, I already lost, so I might as well.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing some really good things from both of you, these runners in the future, you know. Whether that be just, you know, PB attempts or in this tournament or in future tournaments.
Yeah, definitely excited for anything we might do in the future as far as, you know, organized events like this, because it's really fun. Even if you know you're not going to win.
Seems like it's bringing the community together, and a lot of people are being, you know, introduced to the various, you know, speedruns versus Mario or Zelda or Mega Man or whatever, you know, it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
do you guys only run 70, or do you run other categories as well?
I'm waiting for a Japanese cart to come in so I can run 120 more, and that's probably what I'm gonna put my mind to.
I mainly run 70 when I run this game.
And do you mainly run this game, or do you run other games as well?
I mainly run hacks.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, like ROM hacks?
Yeah.
Which ROM hack in specific do you think you run that?
I kind of jump around too much between hacks, so there's not one in particular.
Yeah, understandable. I would like to mention that later tonight at TPM, Just TPN, 10 p.m. EST on this channel, Speed Gaming 4. There will be a Super Mario Odyssey 8% race between Pinkish and Mr. Ike. So if you're looking for more Mario tonight, we've got you covered for that.
Yeah, definitely go check that out. It's a very, very popular game, very interesting speedrun as well. You know, lots of interesting movement.
So yeah, thank you for Galactic Yoshi for commentating with me. Thank you for everyone watching, for the two runners that put up a fantastic race. Is there anything any of you would like to say before we go ahead and sign off the stream?
I do not think so. Thank you guys for commentating the race. I really appreciate it, and thanks everyone
Thank you
for
guys
watching.
for running it. You know, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here commentating.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, you two put on quite a show. Really fun to commentate.
That Nips was very entertaining to watch, even though it wasn't fun for you, but it was good. It was fun to watch it.
Yeah, so that's been the 70-star race. You can check out all the VODs on Twitch, or you can go to the Speed Gaming YouTube channel. I'll try to get the link for that and put it in chat to watch any previous races for any other games. There are daily Link to the Past randomizer runs on the Speed Gaming one. Just all the speed running things you can imagine. There's pretty much always something going on here. So be sure to check any of those out. It's really fun. And also, again, Super Mario Odyssey race at 10 p.m. EST. Be sure to check that out, and I'm going to go ahead and go. Thanks, guys, for everyone for watching the runners, and Galactic Yoshi for co-commenting with me.
Yes, see ya.
See you guys.
see ya.